Welcome everyone. So today in this lecture we will study about inertia. Okay. So what is inertia? In a simple definition we can say inertia is a resistance. It's a resistance that an object has to a change in its state of motion. So let's take an example here. Let's say there is a box on the ground and this person is trying to push the box forward. So when the person is applying a force, the box will not just start moving the moment the person touches, right? Because after the person starts applying a little bit more force, depending upon the weight of the box and how much force it needs to move, there would be a time till the box will not move, right? So this ability or resistance this object provides to the person to not to move is inertia. Similarly, let's say a ball is moving forward, okay, and then this person wants to stop it. So the ball is coming at the person and the person has to apply some force to stop it. So a ball will not automatically stop at this position, right? The person has to do some work. So this resistance this ball will offer to the person in order to stop, that is called inertia. And this is basically the natural tendency of the object. So remember, the resistance an object has to change in position is called inertia. Now one thing which is interesting, it's kind of a history on this, is like prior to Newton, like almost for 2000 years, it is generally believed that all the objects have the natural tendency to come to stop. So the example which we took where the ball was moving forward, it was believed that the ball will automatically stop because of the inertia, even if there is no unbalanced force on the ball, and also the object at rest will remain at rest. Okay, so the before Newton it was believed that the object have a natural tendency to stop because of their inertia. When Newton come in, he explained that the inertia of an object is to resist whatever the state of motion they are in. So this box will resist its movement because it is originally in rest. This ball will offer resistance to stop. If initially it was moving, but it will resist if you want to stop it. So this natural resistance that object provides, that's the inertia. It's a kind of history there. Now we talked about state of motion, and we know from our previous lecture that the state of motion we can also describe by velocity. So any object which is moving with certain velocity will have an inertia. So the ball which was moving before, let's say it is moving with 5 meters per second in this direction, will have an inertia if you want to change that velocity. If you want to make it 6 meters per second, the ball will provide some resistance. You have to do some work. If you want to change it 4 meters per second, then also it will offer some resistance to do that. Even if you want to keep the same magnitude, but you want to change the direction and want to make the ball go backwards, you have to do some work, and the ball will provide some resistance. So inertia, you can also think of the tendency of an object to resist changes in velocity. Now one more thing I want to connect here is change in velocity we know is connected with acceleration. Okay, so inertia you can think of as tendency of an object to resist acceleration. What do you mean? So this ball is moving, we discussed about that, is 5 meters per second in positive direction. Let's say this is direction. So if there is no acceleration, the object will keep on moving with 5 meters per second in the same direction, right? If you want to change its velocity, you need to do some force. You need to make some acceleration to the ball to change that. So you can change it to 6, or you can change it to 4, you can change it to 0, you can change it to -5. Any meter per second velocity you want to make it change from its initial, you need to apply some force, or you have to change the velocity or you have to provide some acceleration. Could be negative, could be positive. So the object will have a natural tendency to resist that acceleration. That is called inertia. I think we have covered quite a bit of definition here. I think things are clear now. One important point of inertia is like how you measure inertia. Okay, the mass is a measure of inertia. Okay, so consider this ball. Let's say this ball is about 1 kilogram. Now this ball is moving forward, and this person wants to stop it. The person wants to apply some force to stop it in this direction, right? So now, since the ball is only 1 kilogram in weight, person only has to apply a little bit of force to stop the ball. Or you can think of this ball of 1 kilogram will have some inertia, but that inertia is not big enough. So that's why the force which person has to apply is small. Consider this car. This car is about 1000 kg. Okay, it's moving forward. This person is trying to apply some force to stop the car. Now you have to stop the car. Now you have to apply a lot of force. Even though the velocity, let's say both the object has 1 meter per second velocity, it doesn't matter. In order to stop the car moving with 1 meter per second will take much more force than to stop a ball which is only moving with 1 meter per second. Okay, so this mass of an object is a measure of inertia. Car has more inertia, that's why more work has to be done to change it. A ball has less inertia. Okay, one more example. Let's look at this person is lifting this rock. Let's say this rock is only 1 kilogram and this rock is 100 kilogram. Okay, so now this person, initially the rock was on the ground, right? And then this person is moving up. So the person has to apply a lot of force to lift this block or rock. Now the inertia of this rock was stationary. It was on the ground with zero velocity. As you are moving it, you are changing the velocity. So this rock will have much less inertia compared to second rock, which is much more heavier. So this person is applying a lot more force, doing a lot more work to lift it than this person. Okay, so just remember, mass is a measure of inertia now, and the easiest example of the car and the ball will always make sure you don't forget. So more inertia object has, the more mass it has. A more massive object has a greater tendency to resist changes in the state of motion. It is basically what we discussed before. If the object has a more mass, the car example which we took, right? Because of the car was 1000 kg, to stop the car, the person has to apply a lot more force to stop the car. So more massive object has a greater tendency to resist changes in a state of motion. Heavier object has more inertia than the lighter one.